Hey guys, hello everyone. My name is Siddhant Singh and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I have gone live or uploaded anything, and yeah, absolutely sorry because this is my first line in almost every video for like I don't know from when it for a really long time. And the reason was pretty simple. I was busy kind of chasing a lot of profits in the markets because typically the markets were playing around in the easy mode. Everything was going up, up, up. If you look at crypto in particular, it was just like all the major cryptocurrencies, keep it Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, were just going up. And when the markets are in this upward trajectory with the blue chips, you can end up making good amount of profits on the blue chips itself by doing by leverage trading those blue chips. So yeah, I was busy doing that. I was busy working on building our own stuff in the industry, and yeah, it was like a pretty hectic time for the past few months. And uh, why I am recording this today is because I kind of got a lot of free time to think over in the last 2 weeks, because markets, particularly the crypto markets, went downhill. There were a lot of exploits, and typically the markets fell a lot. So yeah, that's the reason why I got a lot of time to think about a few things, and I thought let's just put those things together in this video and kind of post something on YouTube after a long time. So yeah, what's today's video about? Today's video is about like what games you need to play in life. Like how do you decide which game to play in life, and what all games exist in general. So I've talked a lot about how you should go about choosing stuff in your life, but what is a more objective approach to think about it first of in the first place? That's when we kind of come to the question of choosing, right? If we are not thinking about something, how are we going to choose about it? So I kind of came up with a fundamental definition of every game in our life, and it's probably a mixture of just two games. So fundamentally in life we just have two games. One is the discrete game and another is the continuous game. And if you look at everything in life, everything, literally everything, it's either a discrete game or it's a continuous game. And if you combine multiple games in life, you will realize that multiple discrete games put together become one continuous game. And in fact, one discrete game leads to the other discrete game, which leads to the other, leads to the other. It creates such a huge chain. And it's such small discrete games that you don't even realize they are discrete, and it ends up looking like a continuous game. So if you look at discrete games and continuous games, they're pretty interlinked. If you also look at a continuous game, you can break that continuous game into multiple discrete games and then play it at a better level. So that's particularly how I kind of define everything out there. So if you make a quadrant, uh, like if you make four quadrants, and you have discrete games here, you have continuous games here, and you go in the anti-clockwise direction. Why anti-clockwise? I just like it that way. I'm just that person who likes everything anti. So you go anti-clockwise and you start from discrete. So this is a purely discrete game. For what example I can take of a discrete game could be one short-term trade. You execute that trade, it stays for a while, you hold in for a while, you make your profits, and you're done. That's a discrete game. Next, we go anti-clockwise. We reach to a section which is discrete, but over time it becomes continuous. So we took that trade example, right? Now, if you put multiple trades together, that becomes your portfolio. That becomes your trading strategy. And that trading strategy consists of multiple small discrete trades, but over time, it's the strategy that's kind of studied. It's the portfolio that's kind of measured. It's the strategy's performance over time that's kind of judged. So this is a discrete game, but with a longer time frame, putting in multiple discrete games like this, it becomes continuous. Next, we come to a purely continuous game. This is politics, corporate politics, be it actual politics, the nation level politics, or be it community politics around you, or it be it just college politics that you have in your college or at your workplace, anywhere, politics is inherently a continuous game. There is no discreteness in politics. There's literally no discreteness. You cannot divide it. And the next quadrant, when you go into this, is continuous game, but you can divide it into discrete parts. For example, let's take a relationship. So politics is about having a relationship with multiple people. So that's a continuous game. But what about a relationship with one person? You can break it down into discrete parts, sharing things with each other, listening to each other, and going out together, spending time together, just sitting down together, teaching something to each other, learning from each other. There are multiple discrete levels to a relationship. And if you kind of study your relationship over a long duration and you kind of break down things that you enjoy together, you break down what you like doing together, you break down how you are spending time together, you break down when you have fights and stuff, you can divide the whole relationship into multiple discrete games, and it ends up becoming like uh, taking those discrete games to kind of end up having a continuous relationship over a long time. So yeah, this was the quadrant of all the games you'll play in your life. It starts with discrete, we go anti-clockwise, then we reach discrete but continuous over a long time frame, then we reach continuous, and then we reach continuous but over a long time frame. You can break it into discrete things. So we basically have three dimensions to this, right? The dimension of continuous, the dimension of discrete, and the third dimension of time frame. So when you have a longer time frame, you'll realize continuous and discrete are kind of confusing, they are interlinked, and you can kind of put any game into any box according to how you're trying to comprehend it. But it's in a gray area. It's both of them. You just need to identify if it's multiple discrete games put together for a longer time frame, or it's a continuous game that's studied over a long time frame and then broken down into discrete parts. So that's what time frame does in this picture. So now the question is, knowing this quadrant of discrete games and stuff like that, quadrant of games you play in life, how do you decide which game you want to play? So one thing that I believe in is that one decision leads to another decision, and then that leads to another decision. And when you take multiple decisions in your life at the same time, luck also comes into the picture. Like you could take a X decision instead of taking a Y decision, and that X decision could make you meet some person that helps you meet Mark Zuckerberg, and then you get into Facebook directly. If you took the Y decision, you would have never met that person and you would have never met Mark Zuckerberg. So taking the X decision ended up giving you a shortcut to life, right? In your case, in just an imaginary example. But how do you kind of identify this beforehand? You cannot identify this beforehand. So basic point is that you cannot think of a longer time frame on your own. You cannot overthink that because it's totally dependent on what decision you're taking today, luck, and multiple factors. So if we remove the time frame aspect of things, then now comes the question, what game should we play in that instant? In an instant, as we kind of discussed, we just have two types of games. That's discrete game and continuous game. In the longer time frame, we have multiple games, but over here we just have two type of games. What type of games should we play? It's a very interesting question because it's tough to realize what actually matters the most. So you might kind of feel that a continuous game is more stable. For example, you prepare for a government job, that government job, and once you get it, it leads to a stable career, it leads to a stable retirement life, you get married and stuff like that. So continuous games feel safe. You kind of feel like, okay, this is something that I can see in future, so let's just play this game. But when you turn 40 and then you look behind in your life, you kind of regret a few decisions, especially when you're exposed to so much and your friends are doing so many different things. And when you'll see their life at that point, you'll be like, I didn't do anything exciting. My life was so predictable from the start, and I just kept living that life. And you'll be like, fuck, I haven't kind of broken down anything in my life. And you'll realize I played multiple discrete games, but those multiple discrete games were what everyone else was playing or what society imposed on me. So you'll feel sad about your life. And I'm not saying that's the wrong part. Like, obviously everyone has their own decisions to make, and it could be a path that's kind of exciting for a lot of people, and it could be something a lot of people desire, so you should take that. But the point is, if you want extraordinary stuff in your life, what should you do at this moment? I feel the answer is, if you have to take a decision at an instant, always choose discrete games. Why should you always choose discrete games? Because w- multiple discrete games put together in a longer time frame end up becoming a continuous game. So you don't need to worry about the fact that choosing discrete games won't kind of take you anywhere. It won't form a path for you. It won't form a ladder for you to climb. It won't form stairs for you to climb the ladder of success and stuff like that. You don't need to think about that, because multiple discrete games put together have always have that domino effect. As Steve Jobs said, that when you kind of look at things at the back, all the dots end up joining. You need to create those dots, and creating those dots are basically to play discrete games at the instant. So the basic motive of this video and the thoughts that I'm trying to compile in this video is trying to first lay up a strong definition of what all games can we play in life. We had that quadrant thing for defining that. After that, how do we take decisions? Then I kind of thought through how luck is a major factor, and we cannot kind of overthink our entire life for a very long time frame just because of this luck factor. So let's just remove the time frame thing. Now we have two types of games left at an instant, which is discrete game and continuous game. And the point is that if we kind of play continuous games at a particular instant, we live a very predictable life, and a predictable life doesn't account extraordinary success in it, and then most likely you'll not have that extraordinary moment in your life, the eureka moment in your life. But if you play discrete games, you might end up creating an extraordinary path for yourself. As Steve Jobs himself said, that when you look back, all the dots will join. But for all the dots to join, this is what I'm adding to it, all the dots will join. But for all the dots to join, you need to have those dots, and those dots are the discrete games you'll play in your life. Yeah, so that's it. This video is about. It was a pretty short video, but I hope you liked it, and I'll try to stay regular now. And yeah, that's it. Bye guys, see you in the next video.